Good evening, fellow students, mentors, supporters, and all. Before we get started, we would like to thank you for your continuous support because we wouldn't have made it this far without it. We'd like to start by introducing ourselves. My name is Mariam.
I'm Myra.
My name is also Mariam.
And I'm Aram.
And in this presentation, we'd like to take the opportunity to present a project that has been our passion since day one, and also use the opportunity to discuss a real-world problem, climate change. As Barack Obama said, we are the first generation to feel the impact of climate change and the last generation to do something about it. Now I'll pass it on to Aram to discuss more about it.
Thank you, Mariam. So I'm going to discuss the opportunity right now. So in recent years, the threat of climate change and global warming has increased drastically. To solve this issue, we came together and decided that to first solve the issue, we must first educate everyone on the importance of climate change, taking climate action, and the consequences of not taking responsibility for proper consumption and production. So through our group, we decided to come together and make this game that will hopefully bring us one step closer to solving climate change. I will now pass it off to Miriam to discuss the gameplay.
Hello, my name is Mariam, and I will go through the gameplay. First, as the player, you will open our app called Climate Combators. When logging into the game, you will come upon this screen. Next, there will be the option to log in or sign up. For all players, you would be directed to a login page to enter your email and password. For new players, you would press sign in, where you would be directed to a page to enter your email, username, age, and password to help us with collecting data on the user. Then you click to enter the game. Once entering the game, you will find your player inside a cave, with your mission being stopping the monsters from getting into trouble by slaying them. While walking along the map, be careful not to fall into any of the holes, or you will be eliminated and brought back to the beginning. Soon you will arrive at the monster, which in our case is a fire monster. With each attack, you will be able to deteriorate through its flaming shield and eliminate it. But the player should watch out for any of the incoming fireball attacks from the fire monster. Once you have defeated the fire monster, a fact will appear related to land damage from climate change. After you have successfully beaten the game, where you will be met with a treasure to collect your points and have a fun climate change fact at the end. If you, however, are eliminated in the game, you will be faced with this screen, the game over screen where you have the choice to restart the game or go back to the level's homepage. Now passing it on to Myra.
Now going over the impact of the game. So overall, Climate Combators is a game that wishes to educate the youth of today about climate change and how their everyday actions directly impact the globe at a large scale. The interactive nature of this game will engage the users and inform them about climate change in a more hands-on manner, as opposed to the traditional methods practiced in schools, such as reading from articles and textbooks, which can be overwhelming with countless amounts of information. In every level of our game, the facts that are displayed after defeating each monster are designed to pique the user's interest on what global warming really is, the dangers of it, and how it's affecting their lives. Certain features that will be implemented in the future, like the What's Next feature, will allow the user to learn more about climate change by providing them with some resources that will discuss climate change and its effect in their local area, as well as volunteering opportunities. And all these tools will equip them with what they need to take action against climate change. Now passing it on to Mariam.
Next, we'd like to display our business and marketing plan. As a team, we brainstormed the possible ways we could use popular platforms and marketing strategies to maximize the exposure of the game, emphasizing on the characteristics and qualities of the game that we indulge in, and trying to expose this to our target market effectively. We also followed with a plan on how we are going to follow through business-wise. We are a social enterprise as we intend to not only contribute to society, but also plan to generate some revenue and make a profit, part of which will be invested back into our business to cover expenses such as the cost to develop, maintain, and loan repayments. Our gaming service will be free to download with some in-app purchases to unlock higher levels as a main revenue stream. The key metrics to track our progress upon launch would be the number of installs, daily and monthly active users. After we ensure interaction on our game, we will track the impact on users by tracking the number of people that registered to volunteer in their community and around themselves, and conducting monthly surveys about their lifestyle changes they have made. Targeting at youth, this game will educate users on how they contribute they can contribute to climate change, allowing them the knowledge to alter their current lifestyle and reduce the enhanced greenhouse gases. Marketing. Through research, we found that there are many who share a similar goal to us, and also many who have created games, websites, and informational videos on how climate change is affecting us. Moreover, we wanted to discuss our competition and how our app caters to the needs of our target market better. This is because video games allow information to be presented in a clean and very visually appealing way. And though Climate Combators isn't the first example of a climate changing app, there are many out there in the market. But our game aims to introduce information to our users and make the game more engaging, realistically practical, and appeal to the hearts of our target markets overall. Here are some examples of green video games. Both of the games presented on the slides, Coral Bleaching and Meet the Greenhouse Gases, are great examples of games created for you to learn about climate change. However, they both seem to be missing the interactive or engaging game aspect to them, as well as the information doesn't seem to be presented in an easy to learn method, and instead the children are just presented with paragraphs and paragraphs of text rather than simplified facts. In retrospect, our app aims to provide the information in a simple manner with an engaging game aspect.
The next slides discussed will be the next steps. Some of the next steps we would like to include in the game are character movement. If you wish to have certain actions like running, jumping, walking, and the player being idle characterized in the game. One of our other goals for the game is to have obstacles along the way as the character goes throughout the level. These obstacles would include flaming fireballs, water sinkholes, and lightning strikes directed at the player who has to deflect these attacks. We also wish to implement other boss monsters into the first level. Some of the boss monsters we had planned were a gas monster, which would shoot lightning bolts and have backs garnered towards gas emissions, and a water monster, which traps the player having facts based on climate change's effect on the ocean and sea level rising. With more time, we want the fire monsters and other monsters to inflict damage onto the player, with the fire monster and gas monster dealing 1.5 hearts of damage and the water monster 1 heart.
We also wish to introduce multiple levels that will allow the user to learn more about climate change issues about many areas around the world, with each level specific to water, land, and gas. This will provide the user with the tools to be well educated on climate change and what it looks like in different areas around the world.
That is our presentation, and I hope you guys enjoyed our idea and decide that Climate Combators is the game to go with for helping with climate change in the future. And do you have any questions?
It was amazing. Selena, what do you think?
Yes.
Any feedback? Yeah.
I do have some feedback. That was a wonderful presentation. I love Climate Combators. I would love to play it. I think your storytelling was fantastic. You really showed us what the impact of this game would be on the people who play it and on our whole world. And so I could tell how passionate you were about the problem and being a solution for that problem. So I commend you for that. Some improvements and things to think about when you continue working on this and showing it off to people. I would have loved to see more detail on how you implemented some of this. So what kind of tools you used to create the graphics, what languages you used to code those movements, and have the algorithm for how the boss deals the damage to the player. I love to hear those details and just hear about what was challenging during the hackathon in implementing that. I'm sure there were hurdles. Also, what was your favorite part? What did you learn? So these are things that you can keep thinking about and keep talking about as you continue to work on Climate Combators. But overall, great job.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.